Good evening and welcome to the Christmas edition of Money Talks. We're ending the year with probably a positive note, with 2017, although starting a little bit on a downside, has ended up on a much more positive note. If we look at the share markets, we've seen the American market break new records several times, and even up to last week, it's ended with a new high. Certainly the tech stocks have been an important contributor to that performance. But it hasn't been just America, even European markets and the Asian markets have all done reasonably well. And if you want to look at something interesting, the Athens share market, which has probably recorded several years of downturns, posted a 20% return, which funnily enough is better than our market, which could only muster 8 and a bit percent, and that's been probably in the last few months. So maybe there's a hint of more to come from the Australian share market. I suppose the good economic performance from the financial markets has been because of the underlying growth and confidence, which certainly has improved, not just again in Australia, but overseas in most developed countries. And the outlook for 2018 is actually quite positive going forward. So there could be a little bit more of the same thing happening in 2018. With interest rates, the Americans, unlike most other countries, have put up rates again for the 5th time in the last 2 years. And perhaps that is a trend that is expected to continue in 2018. So what's happening is perhaps it's showing that economies are growing quite strongly, but also from an investment perspective, it's going to put pressures on bonds and interest rates. And you have to time what you would like to be invested in. Certainly the great run in interest rate reductions, which led to capital raises, has probably come to an end. Lastly, what's been happening also is the markets in precious metals surprisingly have come off, as probably more optimism has gone in the general market, and the industrial metals, for example, iron ore and all that, have been relatively strong, but the outstanding ones have been cobalt and lithium, showing that there's a direction perhaps in battery storing and alternative energy. So they have done over 50% return. And lastly, I just want to make a note on property market, residential in particular. It has finished off Melbourne and Hobart, the clear winners, and they have delivered over 10% each this year, with Melbourne and Hobart still showing positive growth even up to the last month. So on that note, we're hoping that 2018 will bring continued fortunes, and we wish all our viewers and investors a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.